Hey guys, I want to talk to you about standing out as a life coach. This is not something that I take lightly. I don't believe in competition, and yet there is a lot of competition out there. I don't believe in competition because I know what it takes to stand out and to be different than everybody else. And I've already done that work to establish myself as a coach and a mentor who is different than most of the other coaches and mentors out there. But the question is, have you? So a lot of coaches today are going to these generic coaching programs. They're getting their certification in a weekend, or they're going to these high-end coaching programs where they are not being taught how to differentiate. In fact, they're being taught how to do exactly the same thing that everybody else in their coaching program is doing. And to me, that is a disaster. And you're paying a lot of money for those coaching programs, which I think is a disaster. So in my humble opinion, and from my experience, you really need to stand out as a life coach in today's market. Well, how do you do that? Well, one of the things that you really need to do, and this is something that I don't hear nearly enough mentors talking about, is developing your own coaching philosophy. Your coaching philosophy is what you believe, what you think, what values you hold as a coach, and how that helps people. So, for example, if you're someone who values having a heart-centered life and living a heart-centered connection to life and to the things that you do, you need to talk about that. And actually, you don't need to just talk about it. You need to write about it. You need to study it. You need to research it. And you need to deepen your own understanding of what it means to be heart-centered. So your coaching philosophy is what you believe, but it is not enough for it to be inside your head, living, and you just kind of operating from it. You need to take your coaching philosophy and you need to organize it and make it usable for other people. So your coaching philosophy is an important part of differentiating yourself from other people. Now, another thing that you can do to differentiate yourself from other people is to bring your particular eccentricities to your coaching experience. So, hello. So I'm sitting out here. I live in Paris. I'm an African American woman living in Paris, and that makes me different. But that in and of itself is not nearly enough to differentiate myself. For me, I've never built my coaching business based on my travel, even though I do a lot of travel. I've lived all over the world, and you can totally do that. You can totally differentiate yourself as a nomad, as someone who follows their heart and travels the world, or who has a unique living experience. That for me was just a natural part of who I am and what I do. But for me, differentiating myself was more about bringing spirituality and my experience of pain and trauma into my coaching work. For me, coaching is about helping people, move to better places in their lives. But for me, the thing is to understand the dark place of where they're coming from, and that dark stuff that makes them not achieve their goals quite as easily as people who don't have such a deep relationship with their pain body. So in other words, for me, the pain is an important part of my what differentiates me as a coach and as a mentor. A lot of the students who work with me have come from painful experiences, and those painful experiences is what drives them into wanting to be a life coach. They don't want other people to go through the same things that they have gone through. They don't want, they've gone through the pain, They understand the pain and they want to help people overcome the pain. And then they can help them move into their goals. It is very difficult to move into a new, higher vibrational lifestyle when you are weighed down by the painful experiences of your past. Now, I have a theory that people look like their pets, and I want to prove this right now. I am wearing no makeup, and I am here to prove, this is evidence, that Apollo and I look exactly alike. We look alike, do we not? Right, buddy? Can I get a kiss? Kiss, 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 kiss. Good boy. Right, getting back on track. Right. The pain for me is an important thing, and this is why I talk about alchemy. Alchemy, and my certification is called the 6-figure Alchemy Coach certification, all right? The reason I've created this is because I want to work with women who want to differentiate themselves from other women or from other coaches based on their willingness and their fearlessness in the face of the pain that holds people back. You know, it's really great when you have clients that are fearless and they're not dealing with pain. They just need some help to get over some humps. That is very rewarding. But for me, I like working with people who are really kind of like stuck, and they need that alchemy to help them burn away the fear, to burn away the doubt, and to burn away the layers of limiting beliefs, the layers of old habits, old behaviors, old stories. For me, that's where my passion is, getting to the heart of what drives us and bringing that inner light out, and then helping that light develop a new concept, develop new ideas, new beliefs, new habits, and to reach their goals from this new shining light, and helping them understand that when they were in that pain, they could only achieve so much. They were doing great, but they can only get so far. But once you burn away that pain body and you turn that pain into gold, then you can start to create at a whole new level of yourself. And this is when you can really start to heal ancestral trauma, generational trauma, and to create a whole new foundation for the past, but also a new legacy for the future. To me, that is so exciting. And this is how I differentiate myself from other coaches. You see, so this is a great example. I just went off on a tangent, but it's so important. I think I'm gonna stop right there, but actually I wanna say one more thing about this, okay? Differentiating yourself, bringing your spiritual love into your work can really differentiate you. You know, talking about your magic, talking about your dreams and your connection to the spiritual world, talking about your connection to nature, your connection to the innocence of life is a great way to differentiate yourself. You know, instead of being like, oh, coaching is so much about business and making your goals, make your coaching based on helping people connect more to source energy, to nature. I'm sitting right now, I realize I have not connected you to where I am. I'm sitting next to this incredible tree, and I'm at the river. There's the River Seine, and that is La Défense. Actually, this is La Défense, which is the business district of Paris. And over here is just kind of the river front, and I'm at this beautiful park that's behind me. And I just wanted to stop here and share what's in my mind, sharing a little tip. And Apollo is here being so patient. He doesn't care as long as he's out of the house and we can just hang out. He's so happy. Anyway, yeah, that's it. So I hope that this is helpful for you to understand that you need to stand out. And if you want to be a great coach, you want to make the money you need, you can do it, but you gotta focus your energy. You gotta find that thing that makes you special. You are special, but if you're not willing, okay, let me move Apollo's butt out of my thing. Get his cute little head and his cute little paws in there instead. So if you don't differentiate yourself, you're not gonna succeed, because there are too many coaches, okay? You don't need to be obsessed with the competition. Instead, focus on yourself, focus on your own ambitions, focus on your own dreams, and focus on what's unique about you that you bring to the table. Okay, I'm out of here.